Before you face the world, before the weight of expectations and the chaos of noise come rushing in, pause. Before you let the world tell you who you are, return to your stillness. In that quiet space, there is truth. In that space, there is you. Speak to yourself, not weakly, not with doubt, but with certainty, with clarity, with fire. Train your inner voice the way a warrior sharpens his blade, deliberately, consistently, without compromise, because your inner world must be stronger than anything the outer world can throw at you. These 10 truths are not just words, they are disciplines, anchors, shields. They are the foundation of an unshakable mind and an untouchable spirit. Say them each morning, believe them deeply, and live them completely. 1. I forgive myself for yesterday. Each new day is a blank page, yet so many people wake up still carrying the weight of yesterday's mistakes. They replay old conversations, dwell on what they should have done differently, and punish themselves over and over again in their minds. But let me tell you something. If you do not learn how to forgive yourself, you will never be able to move forward with peace. You will always be stuck in the past, shackled by guilt, unable to fully live today. You are human. You have made mistakes. You have spoken words in anger. You have taken actions you now regret. But that's part of being alive. That's part of growth. There is no warrior who has not stumbled, no master who has not once been a fool. What matters is not that you fell, it's that you got up, reflected, and are now trying to be better than you were before. Holding on to guilt is like drinking poison and hoping it will give you strength. It won't. Guilt is meant to teach, not to torture. Learn the lesson, but do not live in the wound. You must wake up and tell yourself, I did what I knew how to do at that time. I did not know better, but now I do, and I will not stay stuck in shame. You cannot expect your mind to be focused, your heart to be calm, or your spirit to be strong if you are still dragging yesterday's emotional baggage behind you. That is not strength. That is self-destruction, disguised as responsibility. Each morning, before the world speaks to you, you must speak to yourself. Look in the mirror and say these words with full belief. I forgive myself for yesterday. I am not the same person I was then. I am growing. I am healing. I am not perfect, but I am honest. I take responsibility and I choose to walk forward clean. I release what I cannot change. I am free. Only then can you truly rise with lightness, focus, and peace. A clean heart is a strong heart, and self-forgiveness is the first discipline of inner freedom. 2. I am prepared to be alone on the path. Most people spend their lives trying to belong, trying to be liked, trying to be accepted by others. They shape their opinions based on what others will approve of. They silence their voice when it challenges the crowd. They follow the crowd, not because it is right, but because it is safer. But if you are truly seeking truth, if you are truly committed to growth, to discipline, to mastery, you must accept something very few are willing to accept. You will have to walk alone at times. You see, the path of self-mastery is not crowded. Most people are not willing to do what it takes to break free from their habits, to challenge their fears, to live with discipline instead of comfort. And the moment you begin to rise, to separate yourself from the noise, from the laziness, from the excuses, you will be misunderstood. People may call you arrogant, distant, strange, or even cold. They will question why you don't follow the trends, why you don't seek attention, why you spend your time in silence instead of chaos. But that is the nature of the path. The deeper your truth becomes, the fewer people will walk beside you. It's not because you are wrong, it's because they are not ready. And you must be okay with that. You must prepare yourself to keep going even when no one applauds you, when no one checks on you, when no one understands the reason behind your choices. Understand this: approval is temporary, but integrity is eternal. It is better to walk alone in truth than to walk with the crowd in illusion. The martial artist does not fight for the attention of the crowd. He trains in silence. He moves with clarity, and he becomes unstoppable because he no longer needs the world's applause to feel alive. Every morning, look within and remind yourself, I may walk alone today, and that's okay. I am not here to be understood by everyone. I am here to stay loyal to my path. I choose growth, even if others don't see it. I choose truth, even if others mock it. I walk with purpose, even if I walk alone. The moment you stop needing others to walk with you is the moment you start walking in power. Do not fear being alone on the path. Fear becoming someone who abandons their truth just to be accepted. 3. My discipline is stronger than my mood. Let's be honest, there are going to be days when you wake up tired, days when your body feels heavy, your mind feels scattered, and your heart just doesn't feel like trying. You'll want to stay in bed. You'll want to put things off. You'll tell yourself, just today I need a break, even when you haven't earned one. This is the voice of mood. It changes with the wind, and if you live by your mood, you will become unstable, inconsistent, and eventually defeated. But discipline is different. Discipline is a decision you make long before the feeling comes. It is a promise you make to your future self. It says, no matter how I feel, I will show up. I will honor my mission. I will train. I will work. I will grow. And the truth is, discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks, will you rise anyway? Understand this. No great warrior, no great thinker, no master of any art has ever achieved greatness by waiting to feel inspired. They created inspiration through consistent effort. Even when their mind resisted, even when their heart was tired, they stayed loyal to their path because they knew that mastery is not built by mood. It is built by repetition, by showing up again and again, especially when it's hard. If you allow your moods to lead your life, you'll never make it far. Because moods are impulsive. They change with sleep, with weather, with stress, with distraction. But your vision, your purpose, that must remain steady. That must be bigger than how you feel in a single moment. You must wake up every day and remind yourself, I am not led by how I feel. I am led by what I have committed to. I don't train because I feel like it. I train because it shapes me. I don't study because I'm excited. I study because it builds my mind. My discipline is stronger than my laziness, stronger than my fear, stronger than my excuses. I rise even when I don't feel ready. This mindset separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Everyone wants the result, but very few are willing to endure the repetition, the boredom, the pain that greatness demands. Discipline is what makes the difference between a man who dreams and a man who builds. Let your discipline be your backbone. Let it carry you through the storms of doubt, the waves of fatigue, the clouds of procrastination. Because every time you rise when it's hard, you build something stronger than muscle or talent. You build character. And character, my friend, is what turns a man into a legend. 4. I am not my thoughts, I am the watcher. There is something most people never learn in their lifetime, and it costs them their peace. They believe every thought that comes into their mind. They let every fear, every doubt, every criticism echo through their heads, and they never stop to ask, where is this voice coming from, and why do I believe it? Your mind is constantly talking. It throws out memories from the past, projections into the future, comparisons, judgments, fears, fantasies. It never stops. But you are not the voice inside your head. You are not the thoughts. You are the one who hears them. You are the awareness, the watcher behind the noise. Just like clouds pass through the sky, your thoughts pass through your mind. Some are dark, some are bright, some are helpful, and some are destructive. But none of them define you. They are just visitors. They only have power if you choose to hold on to them. You must learn to create space between you and your mind. Otherwise, you will suffer endlessly. A fearful thought will come, and you will feel fear. A critical thought will come, and you will feel worthless. But once you understand that these thoughts are not you, once you learn to observe them without becoming them, you become free. You must train your awareness the same way you train your body. You must learn to notice the thoughts without chasing them, without reacting to them. Just like a martial artist stays calm when the opponent charges, you must stay grounded when the mind begins to race. And you must remember, your thoughts don't always speak the truth. In fact, many of them come from fear, from trauma, from society, from voices you absorbed when you were too young to filter them. You are not obligated to believe everything that appears in your head. Every morning, before the world floods in, you must sit still and remind yourself, I am not my thoughts, I am the watcher. I observe my mind, but I do not let it control me. I am still, I am clear. I choose which thoughts I give energy to. I am the master of my mind, not its servant. This is where real power begins, because once you can observe your mind without being hijacked by it, you can choose your responses instead of reacting blindly. You become unshakable in conflict. You become calm under pressure. You stop being pulled in every direction by every passing emotion. People will ask, how are you so centered? How do you stay so calm when everything around you is chaotic? And the answer will be simple. Because I do not confuse myself with my mind, I have learned to watch it, not obey it. That is mental freedom. That is spiritual clarity, and it begins the moment you stop believing everything you think. 5. My time is my life, I will not waste it. You must understand this. Time is not just passing minutes on a clock. Time is your life being spent, moment by moment. Every second that slips away is a piece of your existence you will never get back. Most people don't realize this until it's too late. They waste their days on distractions, chasing approval, mindlessly scrolling, or living on autopilot. And then, one day, they wake up and wonder where it all went. But not you, not anymore. You see, every morning, you are handed a gift, 24 hours. That's 1,440 minutes. That's 86,400 seconds. And every one of those seconds is a chance to create, to grow, to heal, to move forward, to build something meaningful. It is a currency more valuable than gold, more powerful than money, because once it's gone, you can never earn it back. So the question is, where are you spending it? Who are you giving your life to? Are you trading it for cheap entertainment, endless comparison, or meaningless conversations? Or are you investing it in becoming something greater than you were yesterday? Time is what separates the focused from the scattered, the disciplined from the distracted, the masters from the amateurs. The one who guards their time, who spends it wisely, who treats every hour like a precious resource. That person becomes powerful, not because they are lucky, but because they are deliberate. You must become fiercely protective of your time. You must learn to say no to things, to people, to activities that do not align with your values or your vision. You must stop feeling guilty for not giving everyone your attention. You do not owe your life to people who waste it. There is no greater form of self-respect than using your time wisely. No greater display of inner strength than focusing on what truly matters while the world tries to pull you in every direction. And so every morning, before the world begins to shout its demands, you must stand still and say to yourself, my time is sacred. I will not waste it on regret, on gossip, on distractions. I will not trade it for meaningless comfort. I will use my time to grow, to learn, to create, to live with depth. I will spend it building the life I believe in. My time is my life, and I will honor it. Because when the day comes that your time runs out, and it will, you should be able to look back and say, I did not waste my life. I lived it fully. I used my minutes with purpose. I gave my energy to what mattered. I turned my time into something eternal. Don't wait until it's too late to understand the value of your hours. Don't throw away the most priceless thing you have. A man becomes unstoppable the moment he understands how precious his time is, and he becomes legendary when he lives like every moment counts, because it does. 6. I will not be a slave to comfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you, telling you to take it easy, to relax, to rest when you haven't earned it. It tells you to stay safe, to avoid effort, to avoid pain, to avoid the fire of discipline. And at first it feels good. It's warm, it's familiar, it feels like rest, like peace. But what most people don't see is that comfort, when you worship it, when you live for it, slowly becomes a cage. You stop pushing yourself, you stop growing, you stop facing hard truths, you stop showing up when it's difficult, you begin to hide. You become soft, not just in your body, but in your character. And when life eventually demands strength, you'll find that you have none. You will have traded resilience for relaxation, courage for convenience, power for passivity. You must understand this. The more you feed your comfort, the more you starve your potential. Greatness has never come from staying comfortable. It comes from challenge, from resistance, from getting back up when it hurts, from doing what's hard because it makes you sharper, stronger, wiser. It's forged in discomfort. The martial artist does not become skillful by repeating easy moves. He becomes powerful through sweat, through repetition, through pain, through facing his limits and then pushing beyond them. That pain is not suffering, it is transformation. Discomfort is not your enemy, it is your training partner. It is the heat that tempers the steel of your character. You must break your addiction to ease. You must stop worshipping comfort like it is your savior, because it is not saving you, it is softening you. The couch, the snooze button, the endless scrolling, the avoidance of effort, none of it will give you the life you desire. You must become uncomfortable with being too comfortable. You must seek out challenge, not avoid it. And every morning when you rise, you must look yourself in the mirror and say, I will not live to stay comfortable. I will live to grow. I will embrace challenge. I will train my body, sharpen my mind, stretch my limits. I will not retreat when things get hard. I will lean into the difficulty because I know that is where strength is born. I am not here to be soft. I am here to be solid. Every time you choose the harder path, the workout instead of the excuse, the discipline instead of the distraction, you build something deep inside of you. You are telling yourself, I am in control. I do not serve comfort. Comfort serves me. Make this your code. Make this your lifestyle. Because the truth is this, you cannot become extraordinary by living like everyone else. And most people, they live for comfort. They avoid the burn. They fear the pressure, so they remain small. But you, if you are willing to step into discomfort each day, even in small ways, you will grow into something that cannot be broken. You will be forged in fire, and fire does not bow to weakness. Remember, comfort is a thief. It steals your potential slowly, quietly, without you even noticing, until one day you wake up and realize the fire inside you has dimmed. So stoke that fire, let it burn, let it remind you that ease is not your goal, evolution is. 7. Fear is a liar. I walk through it. Fear is the oldest trick in the book. It wears many masks. It whispers from the shadows of your mind, speaking with the voice of logic, pretending it wants to protect you. It tells you not to try because you might fail. It tells you not to speak because you might be judged. It tells you to play small, to stay hidden, to avoid risk. And at first you might believe it because fear sounds reasonable. It sounds safe. It sounds familiar. But the truth is, fear is a liar. Fear is not there to protect you. It is there to control you. It builds its prison inside your mind, brick by brick, thought by thought, until you can no longer move freely. You begin to question your own strength. You hesitate, you delay, you surrender your power, not because you are weak, but because you believed a voice that was never meant to lead you. You must wake up to this. Fear is not a fact. It is a feeling. It is not truth. It is only a reaction, a signal, and like all signals, it must be interpreted. Most of the time, fear is not telling you to stop. It is telling you that you are close to something important, something real, something life-changing. But fear wants you to back away from that edge, because on the other side of fear is growth, and growth makes the old version of you die. That is why fear feels like death. It feels like you're about to lose control, about to fall apart, about to be exposed. But what is actually dying is the version of you that has lived in the shadows for too long. What is dying is your limitation. What is being born is your courage, your power, your transformation. You must not wait for fear to disappear. You must not wait to feel confident. You must not wait for perfect conditions. That is not how warriors live. Warriors do not move without fear. They move in spite of it. That is where true courage is born. Not in the absence of fear, but in the presence of it, when you choose to act anyway. Every morning, before you step into the world, you must look your fear in the face and declare, "You do not own me. I see you. I hear you, but I will not obey you. I will not shrink. I will not turn around. You may rise in my mind, but you will not stop me. I walk forward anyway. Fear, you are loud, but you are not real. You are a liar, and I will not live my life according to your voice." This mindset will change your life, because most people let fear drive their decisions. They build entire lives around what feels safe. But safety, when it is born of fear, is just a beautiful form of imprisonment. A golden cage. You don't see the bars until you try to move. So move, even when your voice shakes, even when your knees tremble, even when the fear screams louder than your confidence, move anyway. You will discover that fear was never as strong as it pretended to be. It only had the power you gave it. And the moment you walk through it, the moment you do what fear told you not to, you break its spell. You rise a little higher. You reclaim a part of yourself that had been stolen, and slowly, fear loses its grip. Let that become your daily discipline. Face it, move anyway, speak anyway, try anyway, fail anyway, keep walking, keep growing. Because the person who keeps walking in the presence of fear becomes someone fear can no longer control. You will not be fearless, but you will be free. 8. I am not here to impress. I am here to express. From the moment we are children, we are taught to seek approval. We are trained to measure our worth by how others respond to us. We learn to hide what's real and display only what is accepted, what is celebrated, what gets applause. We wear masks, we shrink our voices, we pretend, all because we're afraid that who we truly are may not be enough. But here is the truth. You were not born to live for the validation of others. You were not put on this earth to impress people who don't even see the real you. You are here to express your truth, to live fully, honestly, unapologetically. The world is full of people performing. They dress a certain way to be liked. They say what others want to hear. They post carefully crafted images of a life that isn't even real, all of it to impress strangers who don't matter. They live like puppets, strings pulled by the opinions of people who would forget them tomorrow. But this kind of life is shallow. It may look shiny on the outside, but it is empty on the inside. Because when you live to impress, you betray the most important person you will ever know, yourself. You must wake up every morning and remind yourself that your value does not come from applause. Your worth is not something you earn by performing. It is something you were born with. It is in your breath, in your thoughts, in your presence. You do not need to decorate your truth to make it more acceptable. You do not need to tone yourself down just to be easier to digest. Understand this. Expression is freedom. When you express what is real, your beliefs, your dreams, your pain, your personality, you begin to live without fear. You begin to move without seeking permission. And that kind of living is rare. It is powerful. It is magnetic. People who express themselves fully may not be liked by everyone, but the ones who do connect with them connect deeply. That connection is real. It is not based on the version of you they wanted to see. It is based on truth. That's what makes it unshakable. You must understand that not everyone will understand your truth. Some will reject it, some will mock it, some will try to change it. That's fine. You are not for everyone, but you are for someone, and most importantly, you are for you. Every morning, before you leave your home, before the world begins its performance, stand still and say to yourself, I am not here to impress. I do not perform. I do not shrink to fit in. I do not pretend to be who I am not. I express what is real in me, clearly, calmly, and without apology. I don't follow trends. I follow truth. I don't chase attention. I live with intention. My truth is enough. Because at the end of the day, you must ask yourself, did I live today as myself, or did I live as someone else wanted me to be? If the answer is the second, you will feel empty, even if everyone liked you. But if the answer is the first, you will feel alive, even if no one noticed you. Authenticity is not about being loud, it's about being real. And when you live with truth in your voice and presence in your step, you won't need to impress anyone, you'll simply be. And that alone will echo louder than any applause. Don't perform, express, don't chase the crowd, stand in your truth, don't impress. Impact. 9. My energy is sacred. I choose where it flows. Your energy is one of the most valuable things you have in this life. It's not just about physical strength or how much effort you put into your day. It's your attention, your focus, your mental peace, your emotional clarity, your fire. And yet, most people spend it carelessly, without awareness, without boundaries, without purpose. They give it away to anyone who asks for it, to drama, to arguments, to endless notifications, to the opinions of strangers, to guilt, to people who drain them and give nothing back. And they wonder why they feel tired, scattered, frustrated, and unmotivated, why they don't have the strength to pursue what really matters. But here's the truth. You only have so much energy each day, and if you allow that energy to be pulled in every direction, you'll have nothing left for your own growth, nothing left for your peace, nothing left for your mission. Think of your energy like water in a cup. If you pour a little here, a little there, spill some on the floor, give some away to people who don't value it, let some evaporate into distractions and emotional chaos. By the time you sit down to focus on your purpose, your cup is empty. You have nothing left to give yourself. So ask yourself each morning, where is my energy going today? Who gets to have it? What truly deserves my focus and what doesn't? You don't owe your energy to everyone who demands your attention. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't need to prove yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't have to save people who are draining you while refusing to save themselves. That's not strength. That's self-abandonment. You must learn the difference between being generous and being foolish, between being compassionate and being used. Because if you continue giving your energy to the wrong places, you will begin to break down from the inside out. Not all wounds are visible, some are silent. Some are caused by years of giving too much of yourself and getting too little in return. Understand this, your energy builds worlds. Your energy is what fuels your goals. It's what drives your dreams. It's what shapes your body, sharpens your mind, and strengthens your spirit. If you waste it, you lose yourself. But if you protect it, if you direct it wisely, you become powerful beyond measure. This is not selfishness, it is self-respect. Protect your energy like you would protect something sacred, because it is sacred. Your focus, your peace of mind, your presence, these are not things to be tossed into chaos and carelessness. They are treasures. Treat them like it. Each morning, speak to yourself with clarity. Stand still, breathe, and say, my energy is not for everyone. I do not fight every battle. I do not chase every distraction. I do not carry other people's burdens unless I choose to. I give my energy where it grows me, where it fuels love, where it builds strength, where it creates peace. I do not waste it on noise. I do not waste it on conflict that leads nowhere. I guard my energy and I give it with intention. Because you see, the quality of your life is determined by where your energy flows. If it flows into negativity, your life will reflect that. If it flows into comparison, insecurity, and fear, your reality will begin to mirror that darkness. But if it flows into gratitude, discipline, focus, and love, your life will begin to shift. It will align. It will bloom. You must become the master of your energy, not a slave to your impulses, not a victim of emotional vampires, not a prisoner to toxic environments. You must choose every single day where that fire goes. And that choice will shape everything: your mind, your mood, your momentum, your mission, the people you attract, the opportunities that open, the peace you feel when you go to sleep at night. All of it begins with this decision. I choose where my energy flows. I do not give it away for free. Remember this always. Not everything that calls for your attention is worthy of your attention. Not everyone who wants your energy deserves it, and not every situation needs your reaction. Sometimes silence is strength. Sometimes walking away is power. Sometimes preserving your peace is the greatest victory of all. So guard your energy like it's gold, because it is. It is your life force. It is your direction. It is your fuel. And when you protect it, when you pour it into the right places, you will become unstoppable. 10. Every morning is a chance to become untouchable. When the sun rises, it doesn't rise halfway. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't ask for permission. It rises in full power, in full clarity, in full presence. It starts over, without carrying yesterday's darkness into today's light. That is exactly what each morning gives to you: a reset, a quiet gift from life, a doorway into strength that most people walk past without even noticing. The world will try to own your mind as soon as you wake up. Messages, notifications, bad news, expectations. Everyone pulling you in different directions before you've even had time to breathe. And if you're not careful, you'll start the day already behind, already reactive, already scattered, already weak. But that is not the way of the warrior. That is not the way of someone seeking truth, peace, and inner power. The warrior wakes up and reclaims the first hour, not for the world, but for the soul. You must remind yourself of this. The way you begin your morning will shape the rest of your day. If you begin distracted, you stay distracted. If you begin anxious, you stay anxious. But if you begin with awareness, with breath, with strength, with purpose, then you become untouchable. Not because the day won't throw problems at you, but because you'll be anchored so deeply within yourself that nothing outside of you can shake you. Being untouchable doesn't mean you're cold or unfeeling. It doesn't mean you're detached from life. It means that your peace does not come from outside. It comes from within. It means that your clarity is not borrowed. It's built. It means that you've prepared your mind, your emotions, your energy to move through chaos without being consumed by it. You become unshakable not by avoiding pressure, but by learning to breathe through it, to respond instead of react, to observe instead of absorb, to move instead of freeze. Every morning, you are handed a clean slate, a new battlefield, a new opportunity to sharpen your spirit. You don't need to wait until you feel strong. You don't need permission from the past. All you need is the willingness to meet the morning with discipline, with intention, with awareness. That is why your morning must be sacred. It is the foundation upon which your entire day is built. Wake up early, breathe, reflect, move your body, speak truth to yourself. Look in the mirror and say, "Today I train my mind, I calm my emotions, I protect my energy, I stay focused on my path, I rise above the noise, I stay rooted in truth, I become untouchable, not because I'm perfect, but because I am prepared." This world is full of noise, distraction, and emotional turbulence. Most people live in reaction mode, constantly pushed around by circumstances, mood swings, and the opinions of others. But you are not most people. You are not here to survive the day. You are here to shape it, to master it, to move through it with power, not panic, with clarity, not confusion, with purpose, not pressure. You must become the kind of person who rises before the world demands something from you, who claims the morning and aligns the mind before the noise can enter. Because once you are aligned with your purpose, once you are centered within, nothing can truly touch you. You will walk through chaos with calm eyes. You will hear insult and it will not pierce you. You will face resistance and it will not stop you. You will feel fear, but you will not obey it. That is the essence of being untouchable, not immune to pain, but unshaken by it, not absent of challenge, but unafraid of it, not detached from emotion, but no longer enslaved by it. And this discipline begins every morning, not once a week, not once a year, but every morning. Each sunrise is a silent challenge from life. Will you rise and reclaim your power today, or will you give it away? Your answer determines everything. So remember this. You don't need to be the strongest, the smartest, or the fastest. You just need to be the most prepared, the most focused, the most grounded. You need to walk into the day already trained, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Every morning is your chance, a sacred chance to center yourself so deeply that the world cannot pull you apart. A chance to speak truth into your own mind before the lies of the world try to enter. A chance to become someone whose peace is not determined by circumstance, whose strength is not borrowed from the outside, and whose direction is not shaped by fear. That is what makes you untouchable. Every morning, you are not just waking up, you are stepping onto a battlefield. A battle not against the world outside, but against the world within. Your fears, your doubts, your distractions, your cravings, your past, all of them rise with the sun. And if you do not rise stronger, clearer, more focused, they will win. That's why these 10 reminders are not just affirmations. They are weapons, shields, anchors. They are the code of someone who refuses to live blindly, someone who chooses to live with intention, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You see, greatness is not something you stumble into. Peace is not something that magically appears. Discipline doesn't just arrive one day. All of it is built, morning by morning, choice by choice, thought by thought, and it begins the moment you open your eyes. Most people wake up and hand their day away to their phone, to their worries, to the opinions of others, to their moods, their memories, their distractions. But if you want to live a different life, if you want to walk with strength, speak with clarity, move with focus, you must live differently. You must reclaim your mornings. You must begin each day like a master preparing his mind for battle. Quiet, still, clear. You must speak truth to yourself before the world speaks lies. You must rise before life pulls you into its noise. Because when you do this, day after day, you begin to change. You no longer need motivation because you have discipline. You no longer chase approval because you live in truth. You no longer fear fear because you walk through it. You no longer waste your energy because you protect it. You no longer just exist. You move with presence, with purpose, with power. This is what it means to live as a warrior, not one who fights others, but one who overcomes himself, one who sharpens his spirit daily, one who lives with such clarity, such calm, such unshakable truth that the chaos of the world cannot touch him. So when you rise tomorrow, remember, you don't need more time. You need more intention. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be committed. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to walk anyway. Every morning is a new beginning, a new chance to become untouchable, not in ego, but in presence. Not because you are better than others, but because you are finally fully you. Wake up, speak truth, move with purpose, and let the world feel the power of someone who has returned to their center. That is the way, that is the path, that is freedom.